What's going on, my friends? I hope you're well. I am well, and what is today, the 15th? Hold on. I think tomorrow or the rest of the week, our royalty statements come out from BMI. I mentioned that before. This month is royalty statements. I hope that your royalty statement is growing and doing well. We're all in this to accomplish that, I know. And some of you might not be in film and TV music. You might just be watching the channel for music reasons or music business reasons or learning about things in recording and music. And, as I've always said, I always like to pass on what worked for me. And I'm going to do a bit of that this coming year. I think I'm going to really sit down and get my take on music licensing some things and talk about my experience and my advice just coming from me that works for you. But I'm also going to refer to you a lot of, as I stated, channels for you to follow, books to read, and things that I would encourage you to continue to follow, because again, I don't consider myself the be all end all, and I'm not. I just like to pass what works for me. And I think that's the consensus for all us YouTube channels, because these guys, I talk to them all the time. You saw them, a few of them in the video with me at the Production Music Conference. Yo Pauly, John Mayer, you got Dave Croft, bunch of these guys. And forgive me, there's other channels, I know there are. And I don't want you to say, you didn't mention me, but I always had the best intentions to do so. You know I do when it comes to mine. But be it that it may, excuse me, I got a little itch on my nose as I'm drinking my coffee this morning, trying to get my music going. But I encourage you to follow those guys. But let's see here. Back to what I was saying. Distribution letters. Let's see here. We have royalty payment for second quarter. Oh, hell. It's today. Royalty statements today. Okay, folks. November 14th, 2024. Uh-oh. I'm opening my royalty statement here while I'm on camera with you. I'll have to look at that here in a minute. It's always like Christmas morning. What did Santa bring me this year? That's what every quarter's like, man. I'm like, holy cow. What did Santa bring me? So be it that may, I'm doing well. I saw a video this morning with John Mayer. He did a great video demonstrating his income streams with M&Ms. You can't ask for anything better to demonstrate things with M&Ms. If you haven't watched that video, go watch that video. Because John is just great at YouTube. Some people just have a really good knack at being able to explain things and do things. And he had his overhead cam with his iPad, which is actually cool, because funny thing is I subscribe to an app called Photomine, I think it is, because I have to scan a bunch of photos. And when my dad died, we had all these photo albums, and I got tasked with the photos. My brother and sister, I kind of split a bunch of these photos because he had a bunch of duplicates, just gobs of them over there, and I've got to scan all this stuff. So they sent me, I didn't ask for it, they sent me this. It's just like this buoy you see, right? Exactly like this. There's my weatherman stuff. And it has a mount for your phone. And you put it on the desk, and and I might use that just over, if I'm talking about something on my iPad. It's a good demonstration, because thank you, John, for that. I think that's pretty cool, the overhead cam. But anyway, with that said, I intend to do that this year. I was talking a lot about, should I get an MPC or a Machina and all that, and I've kind of backed off on that a little bit. I've kind of thought that I'm okay with my Logic Pro and I'm good. And if this next year I decide to dive into that and do that for the heck of it, so be it, But it comes to a point where that's why I always do my research and go, should I jump or step right off the cliff, or should I not do that, And thank you to the guys who've made suggestions and chimed in on that. I really appreciate that. I really do. One of you stated that you had, either the Machina or you had the MP3, and, to you, it really helps you just separate yourself from the DAW and just generate ideas. But at the end of the day, you still take that into another DAW and complete it or mix and master it. I think the MPC2 Beat software for the desktop, it may have means for you to mix and master. I don't know. Chime in below if you do. And I think you can use VSTs on that one, but I'm not sure. I know Machina, you can bring all the native instruments, and I think you can branch out to other VSTs because of the contact thing, but I'm not 100% sure on that either. So gotta go back and watch that. But and my thought is if I'm going to learn the MPC, is that maybe just get the MPC Beats or the MPC2 software for the desktop and toy with it a little bit and learn that software. So when I get into the MPC, I've learned, what that whole sequence, scene, program, track thing is all about. It's once you get into it, you learn it. It's not that big a deal. It's just understanding what you are. But my thing is it's just another DAW, and I have one that I love that works. And I've been sitting down really digging more and more into getting a lot into sampling in Logic and doing a lot of stuff. And you've got Drum Machine Designer. There's a lot of cool things that you can do in Logic, and Logic is amazing. And speaking of Logic, they just released 11.1. If you use Logic, you know this. And what I love about Logic is one thing that no other DAW that I know does, and maybe it does, is that Apple's just able to update it in the background. You power the computer on, you're sitting there, and you're like, it's taking a while to boot up a moment today. And then this thing pops up, here's what's new in Logic Pro 11.1, And it's cool, though. I love that. I love that about Logic. I also love the fact that I've had it for 2 years, haven't paid one update fee, and there are guys that have this thing 10, 12 years, and it's a lifetime thing. It's kind of like the FL Studio thing. It's a lifetime, as far as I know, unless some major thing comes about that Apple wants to charge you for Logic Pro. Don't see it happening. I think it's cool. It's another benefit if you're a Mac user. I mean, Logic Pro is really a good DAW. I saw a guy the other day doing a video like, here's the best rated DAWs, and of course he's one of these not Bitwig. What's the other one? He's one of these guys that I call it the Linux Red Hat for music DAWs, and he's one of those guys, and he did it like this A, B, and C tier DAWs, and he's like putting Persona Studio One Pro and Logic in like low B tier, and I'm like, do you know how many people in this industry use Logic and Persona Studio One Pro? And, I get Pro Tools because Pro Tools is more for audio, and it's not really, that would be a C tier for being a sequencer, even though it's a great DAW for recording music. And I know guys that do production music with Pro Tools, and they use mostly real instruments. Dan Brown Jr. is one of them. Shout out to Dan Brown for that. He's incredible. But he started, I don't know if you've ever saw the video, he started talking about, using the DAW he uses, and I'm like, that's why he did it. He's one of those guys, that uses, that one DAW that guys can manipulate like Red Hat and Linux. You can take that DAW and you can do different code and change things with it. And I think that's cool and all. It's not Bitwig, and my mind went blank, and I'm killing time here with telling you what it is, but it's Reaper. I just had to look at the screen on that deal. But he uses Reaper, and I get it, that you can do all that. That's great. But you should know more about how many people use Logic Pro and where it stands in the industry. Logic Pro is top tier. I mean, you may disagree, and that's okay. But so is Persona Studio One Pro. Reasons in there, but the DAW, again, I think it's falling behind. I think the racks are great. It all depends on what you want to do. I'm not going to say what's best in top tier, and I shouldn't, because my biggest premise is you go with what DAW works best for you. You want to work them all. I said it a while back ago, and this is the biggest truth. Each one of these DAWs are unique and different. They're all unique and different. They're like different instruments. And if you have enough space on your computer, get several of them, toy with them, work with them. You can rewire and use some of them as VSTs and work in and out. And with technology, it's so much easier than it used to be, where back in the day when I left Pro Tools, I went to Persona Studio One Pro. When I really wanted to use Reason and I went to that, you couldn't use VSTs in Reason. They didn't have it. So I had to either rewire into Persona Studio One Pro, or I had to export everything and then bring it into Personas, what I did in Reason, and continue on there. Then the world changed with music, and technology changed for the better. I think it's cool. So it's always going to happen. You know how that is, my friends. So anyway, all is well. That's where I'm at with the MPC thing. I just put it to rest and visit it next year, because I'm fine. I love what I have, and I don't think I have to have it. It's spend a lot of money on something that might just be a shiny red toy just sitting there. We we can't do that. So other than that, I'm going to look at my royalty statement and hope we're growing here. All is well, and I hope you are too. And stay with it, man. Don't give up. And I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Be cool. Bye.